Hello, in this short video we're going to take a look at using the RGB function to control override color for style. Before watching this video you need to have some familiarity with using the if function, so you may want to review the if function video before watching this video. Here we have some point features, in this case some telephone poles. For each pole we have attributes describing some information about the pole. In this case we have the type of pole, and in the type of pole indicates the type of material the pole is made out of. In this case, wood. In another case, metal. We want to assign a different color based on the type of material. Right-clicking on the legend entry for our poles, we can pick Style Properties to invoke the Style Properties dialog. The Style Properties dialog for our symbol comes up and shows us the default properties. If we click on the Advanced tab, however, you can see a more programmatic view of the same properties. Under the Advanced tab, if we scroll through the list, we'll notice that one of these is Override Color. Behind the scenes, the color is actually stored as a long integer, but in the default value field, it is expressed as an RGB value. The red, comma, the green, comma, and then the blue, because it's more meaningful to see an RGB value than an integer, a long integer. But behind the scenes we do interpret the RGB value to a number. So that number could be assigned, if you knew the integer number, could be assigned by keying in an integer number into the attribute-based field. But rather than keying in a value such as this, it may be better to actually go and use an expression which evaluates an RGB value using the RGB function. By clicking in this field on the left under the default value, you can get a color picker, and it's useful to go to this dialog first and pick out some colors to assign. So for our wood, we may want to assign a nice brown, maybe color number 23. And we'll make a note of the color. In this case, make a note of its RGB value is 182, 130, 17. Then we'll pick a color for our metal poles. Maybe we'll pick a nice blue color. That'd be 153 in this case. It has an 84, a 163, and a 221. RGB value. Let's click Cancel on this dialog, go to the Expression Builder. Clicking in the Expression field, go to Expression, and we'll build an expression in the Expression field. So I'm going to clear what I have in the field, and what we're going to use is an if statement. So let's go to Logical for our categories, double click on if, and we see the syntax at the bottom, and we'll say if the pole type, which is a text field, so you can tell this is text by looking at the bottom, is equal to wood, comma, then the RGB value. Let's look under View, and you can click on RGB and you can see the syntax for RGB. Then the RGB value should be 182, comma, 130, comma, 17. Then we'll space over and say put a comma in. And for the syntax of our if statement, we say if it's wood, it's this color, otherwise it's a different color. And so we can give it our other color. Or we can assign a red color in this case, possibly. RGB 255, comma, 0, comma, 0. There's a red. But I'm also going to test, rather than testing just for two items, I'm going to put, or for one item, we're going to copy everything, including the comma, to the left of the last value. Right-click Copy. I'm going to paste it in the same position right before the last value. Paste it. Then change the value, and we'll say metal. We'll change the RGB value, what we want it to be. In this case, we'll change it to our color that we wanted to use was 84, comma 163, comma 221, and then add an ending parenthesis. So let's evaluate this again. If it's wood, be an RGB value of 182, 130, 17. Otherwise, if it's metal, be an RGB value of 84, 163, 221. Otherwise, make it red. Clicking OK, we can now see that our poles have the colors assigned by their override color in the attribute-based symbology. Notice also that on the legend symbol will always take on the default symbology assigned by the style. Right-clicking, Style Properties. So the legend assignment always comes from the default, whereas the advanced symbologies being assigned from the attribute-based symbologies here are being assigned directly to the items on the individual basis. Also notice that these attribute-based symbologies change as the data changes. So if this pole changes from metal to wood, then the symbology will change as well. What distinguishes attribute-based symbology, such as this, from thematic mapping is that attribute-based symbology allows us to do multiple style changes on a single legend entry. So the real power comes from using attribute-based symbology, not just on the pole's type, but possibly also on the type of equipment used on the pole, the age of the pole, the size of the pole, and more attributes than just one. Because under the attribute-based properties and the advanced properties, recall that under the advanced properties we have many style settings, but we'll look at those in other recordings. We hope this short video using the RGB function has been useful. Thank you very much, and thank you for using Intergraph.